So, earlier today when I was drinking coffee, can you see it's like a feather that got stuck to my shirt and it won't get off. Also, I feel like I just picked this shirt and I feel like it's pretty relevant. It's from a tour I went to. It was my first concert back in 2006. I saw Fall Out Boy. It was my first show. I was in the 6th grade. Keyhole's always been a thing. Yeah, so the shirt, the feather, I saw a lizard that was shedding. And I was just thinking a lot of things. I was also thinking of the Jeanette McCurdy book. I'm glad my mom died. I started it a bit ago, and that's something I do want to do a somewhat review thing on too. Well, not a review, a non-review, just me talking about it, because every page basically I have to bend the corner, and I'm realizing that a lot of people are going through similar things with their parental units, and mine has come to a close, more or less. The chapter is ending, and I feel like that might be useful for some people. But essentially, a lot of people are going through mother issues, or have been going through mother issues. I don't know if your mother is like mine. I don't know if anyone's is like anyone's, but I do know that, little girls becoming moms too soon, especially to their mothers, is a common trope nowadays, unfortunately, and I really want to get away from it. Not in the sense that I'm ashamed. I mean more so that I would like to make little girls again. Not for my own sake, because it made me powerful, but it's not worth it for everybody. Thankfully, my ancestors before her had this already semi-planned out, I guess. The car beeped twice, but they had already been inside for a while. They parked a long time ago. I guess that was just confirmation. But yeah, whatever it is that I'm continuing, I know it's thanks to them, and I guess thanks to her as well, but I'm just saying, in the sense of everybody plays their part. Some people did play the part of the thing that was useful in their negativity, let's say. I don't even know how I got to that topic, if I'm honest, because that's not what I meant to talk about. I really meant to talk about scribing. And I don't know if this is scribing. Scribing is quite literally putting pen to paper. So I guess when I'm doing this, it is me releasing thoughts, but it's not scribing. I still feel called to make these kinds of videos, and I might do one every day. So I wish I knew what I just wanted to say. I guess if I already knew that I wouldn't have to do this. Earlier I had a thought, and the second I had the thought, I felt like I had to say it actually. And now when I closed my eyes, I had the memory of the thought. I saw a door, and it was like a shadow of a door, and you could see the frame and the door hole. But then instead of opening as a door itself, like in and or out, it opened like one of those Japanese doors where it's like a wooden panel that shifts to the right. But when it shifts to the right, instead of becoming an opening and then the door to the right of it, it just became a black square. Like both parts, like where the empty hole would be and where the door was, became together to be a black square. And then I just had a black square in my head for a while. So yeah, I think that's it for now. And if it's not, then it's because I'm uncomfortable that somebody's parking, but I don't know if I'm uncomfortable enough to stop something like that, so I feel like it's a sign. Isn't everything? Okay, so I came into the car because there's too many bugs going towards the light, the lamp. Makes sense. I've gotten a lot of confirmation that it's definitely about me. Everything, I guess, is about me. It feels strange only because I've been watching so many like readings, and they're just so specifically for other people, and obviously I take them for myself. That's why I listen to them. But that's not what I'm doing. I feel like it's easy to confuse for what I'm doing, but it's not what I'm doing. This is about me. I'm researching me. I feel like I need to know more about me. I feel like I need to remember more about myself. The star room. My birthday, the star room, who is like God. There are a lot of things that are coming up to mind. Like read the room has been coming up a lot. And I think it means I'm meant to step into a room. I want to get closer to scribing. I want to start scribing. I think that's what I'll do. I guess I started that. I guess that's what I did yesterday while I watched the movie. So I'm going to continue doing that as a form of meditation. I'm going to start scribing every day. And then after the scribing, I'm going to try to kind of do this about it. Update. I found the keys. And I found the keys. So exactly what I thought yesterday is exactly what was happening. You thought you lost access, and maybe you had your perspective in a way where it was easy to assume something negative, or it was easy to accuse, maybe. But once you get the proper perspective, even if you don't feel like you're right, as long as you know that there's space for misinterpretation, the right perspective will always come. And I stayed patient, and I found them exactly where I should have found them. And now I have access again. But I could have freaked out and tried to force myself to have access just to feel safety and secure at all times. But it's time to feel secure in insecurity, and to feel like you don't need a safety net to jump. You don't need a safety net to jump. If you needed a safety net to jump, then you would only ever be able to jump in planned circumstances, right? Like you would only be able to take leaps that you've already perfectly orchestrated. You have to learn to leap on command. Which reminds me of Crying on Command, which reminds me of the book I'm Glad My Mom Died by Jeanette McCurdy, which I did want to do a non-review on. I'm like ridiculously hot. And like actually that's not true. I'm not hot, but I'm sweating. Like I feel myself sweating heavily, and it's not as hot as it should be for me to feel that way. I'm going to focus a lot on scribing. I'm going to focus a lot on digging into myself. I'm going to say a lot of things. Feel free to comment. Feel free to elaborate on me. Or to share your own things, you know? Everything is everything. I believe that in finding out about yourself, you find out about everything, but it's going to be a really big, like, blinders on myself right now. There was this image that I had that I wanted to bring up. So it was the keys and then this image that I wanted to bring up specifically for the collective or whatever it is that this is. It was a door, and it was like a shadow door, and I could see the shadow of the frame and the shadow inside of the frame. That was the door. But when it opened, it didn't open like a door in and out. It opened to the side like a panel, like a Japanese door kind of. And then when it opened to the side, the panel and the hole where the door like entrance should have been, instead of becoming two separate things, they just formed a black square. So like they like got side by side, and now it was just a black square, and that stayed in my brain. Yeah, so there's just a black square there for a while. So a door that turns into a black square. But yeah, it's like ridiculously sweaty, like almost uncomfortably so. So I think I'm gonna stop. I think that could be it for now. We'll see how the night goes. I guess right now this is really just everyday thoughts, like stream of consciousness. Like every day I guess I'll just see where this goes. My main priorities are going to be dreams, scribing. I hadn't said dreams, but dreams has always been a thing for me. Royal blue is still there. But scribing, dreams, meditation, focusing on myself. But to me, this is focusing on myself. I know that I'm posting it and that it's technically for support and to share, and that I hope that it benefits, but it really is for me. It really is. I feel like everything I've ever seen has always been for me. So it only makes sense. Unless I've never been able to create something that wasn't for me, and this is finally for someone else. But let me know. Whether you relate, you don't relate, whether you like it or you don't like it, just say something. I mean, people are saying something everywhere on the internet. Might as well say it here. I can take it. Like Mitski said, if you need to be mean to me. Yeah, I think that is it. I wonder how sweaty I look on camera, but it doesn't matter. That's not why we're here.